Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Blast Off with Light. I am back from Wisconsin and ready to make some more videos. However, didn't have any time to play while I was there, so not much progress has happened in this world. You can see, no extra terraforming, not a lot added, except for a nice little patch of grass over there. We'll get to that. But I already had a few things lined up that should be able to let us make some progress without too terribly much extra work. Let's work from this one so we don't have that extra inventory over there. So, what we need... Oh, right, I left some things over here. Is some pneumatic craft stuff. We've done a lot in Magic. We should probably get to work on the pressure tubes. And, well, we've got a bit of compressed iron to get that started. So one of the first things we're going to need are some actual pressure tubes. These get the air pressure from one place to another without too much muss or fuss, but they can only handle like 5 bars of pressure. Not a whole lot, but enough for a lot of circumstances. Why is this ring not on? Weird. Okay. Next up, we've got some pressure chamber walls. Those are normally like so. But we also need some fancy pressure chamber valves for getting the pressure into the chamber. And we're going to need some pressure chamber windows. Now, these are purely aesthetic. You don't actually need these for your pressure chamber, but you do need them for the quest. Oh, it's a crafting challenge. That's awfully mean of you, game. So you actually have to craft those chamber walls to get the credit for them. Now, I don't know why I walked all the way over there. I've got a perfectly good bench right here. So let's just take all of that. We're probably gonna need 2 batches. Yeah. 2 batches of these. Wait, what? Okay, now that is just messed up. I made 2 piles of them, and it gave me credit for making 2 of them. So I don't know if this is an HQM thing or what the trouble is, but if I have to craft 8 times worth of pressure chamber walls, I'm going to need to get tons more iron. That seems wrong. Because there's no way we need that many chamber walls. I've got 36 more ingots just laying around. Let's do some math. So that's 4 more, not 6 more. So even if I make all of that iron and somehow it all becomes compressed, yeah, then it would still not be able to complete that quest. So I don't know if that's a misinteraction of HQM, of Pneumaticraft, or just this particular version of this mod pack, but I just made 8 more pressure chamber walls, and it gave me credit for 2. So that makes it such that I can't open up the extra quests. So I'm going to cut away. I will be back after I've found a solution. And we're back. Since they want us to make a 3x3x3 cube, there's no sense in us having 32 pressure chamber walls. So I just told HQM to give me credit for this one. I don't feel bad about that in the slightest. So now we claim our reward, get a little bit of extra compressed iron, and move on our way. So be able to actually use any pressurized stuff, we need a way of making pressure. Imagine that. So, we need an air compressor, which is none too difficult to craft. I had cobblestone at some point, and then I put it down somewhere. The question becomes, where did I put it down? There's so many potential places. Could be here. No. Here. No. Could be here. Nope, that was gravel. I don't know why I would have put it down. Because I needed it for this episode. Well, there's two. Ugh. Fine. I'll just get some more. Or I can just steal one of these furnaces. That's a better idea. That was for my Flaxbeard setup, which I'm not going to do because it's too unstable. So, we take our furnace, and we need a pipe coming out of it, and then we need... I'm not sure if it's iron all around, iron most of the way around. Furnace on the bottom? Furnace on the bottom. Empty space in the middle. So we got our air compressor, we've got our tubes, and we've got our stuff for a pressure chamber. This should be enough to get our setup started. Tubes to move pressurized air. Well, you needed to make these to make some of the other stuff, so this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But that's okay. We got lots of stuff now. Liquid compressor. Using fluids to generate pressure. And that'll give us an omnidirectional hopper. Now, I don't know anything about that liquid compressor, so I'm going to go into the in-game wiki. I believe this is from the same dev as Pneumaticraft, so it has all the fancy Pneumaticraft stuff in it, but you can also add your own stuff to this, I believe. So this is really quite awesome. So we've got a liquid hopper. Liquid compressor. The liquid compressor is a machine that can produce compressed air. It uses liquids to do so. You can either use liquids with a high temperature, the higher the temperature, the higher the yield, or use liquids like fuel, oil, biofuel, or biomass. There may be more. To see which fuel you can use, open up the Available Fuels tab in the liquid compressor's GUI. In there you can also see which fuel is the best. And to make it we need fire flower seeds, a bucket, and another air compressor. That's not too bad. Aside from our lack of netherrack, that's really quite good. Now we've got quite a few fire flower seeds, so we don't necessarily need to go hog wild with that right now. With like creating more. Let's put the glass down for now. So do we want to make that compressor, or do we want to set up our regular old compression chamber? Choices, choices, choices. Well, if you haven't seen one of these before, we might as well set this up. So it's a 3x3x3 cube. Very often it's placed right on the ground such that you look in through the window to see the stuff popping around. I think I will do that again this time, such that you can actually see what's going on inside. And we've got enough crazy jump boost that if we need to get on top of it, there isn't too much trouble. And this guy's 3x3 already. Oops. So you make yourself a base. You can then decide if you want windows around the part where things are going to be popping. You want pressure chamber walls on the corners. You're going to need a pressure valve somewhere in here. I'm going to put mine on the top. Actually, no, I'm not. The problem is early on, you have to dump things in by hand. And that makes it incredibly frustrating. So we're going to put our pressure valve on the side. Eventually we'll swap this out once we get the interfaces, but to get the interfaces you need pressure. It's a big old circular problem. Book. And there we are. I could probably put this guy up one, but he looks better sitting on the ground. Actually, he'll look even better right over here. Perfect. And now we'll need to get something that we want to compress. So what do we want to compress? Well, some fireflower seeds to make the red plastic. This is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you keep one, you can always get more. So we come on up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank goodness they don't catch fire. Then we can block it off, and it's now a pressure chamber. Fancy. And then you come in here and you give it some fuel. I'm going to give it 2 pieces of coal. You definitely do not want to just toss in a whole stack. It'll keep burning it. It'll keep giving it pressure until it goes into the red. And while it's in the red, it has a chance to explode. We should be able to right click on the pressure chamber itself, and it'll show you in yellow where you don't quite have enough power. Green is how much pressure you need to make whatever's inside of it, and red is exploding. So we can watch that go up, or we can watch over here, but this doesn't tell you how much you need. And there's negative pressure too. You can actually make negative pressure type suction devices if you've got separate systems for doing fancy things. I'm not sure if you need a hypobaric chamber for anything, but it should be able to do it. And there we go. Pop, 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 pop. We've got ourselves red plastic. We hop on top, break in, and it releases the pressure, unfortunately. And you can seal it up or not. Well, apparently I only needed that one. You can seal it up or not. At this point, we don't really need to seal it because, well, yes, it'll waste that one coal, but so would opening it up. So we've got the plastic. We need another furnace to make another air compressor. We should have enough pipes. I believe I saw some compressed iron in... Oh, titanium. That's what I saw. So if we come in here, if we take this and a little bit of the stuff we got from the quest, we can make another one of these. We needed the plastic, the compressor, and a bucket. Well, I've got a bucket. Ooh, but I don't have any lava on me. It's starting to get a little chilly. Good thing I've got a supply. Okay, so bucket, compressor, and red. Voila! Liquid compressor. And it'll give me an omnidirectional hopper. Sweet. And nothing opens up from there. Loseless pressure. Should be lossless pressure. I've been losing a lot of pressure every time I break the pressure chamber. To put in the items. It's time for an upgrade. That is true. Then we get to pick a volume or a speed upgrade. Okay. And so I need to make one pressure chamber interface. That seems a little skimpy. Because, yes, you lose pressure putting things in, but you would also lose pressure bringing things out. Oh, and this makes 4. So the 0 to 1, that works. 6 of those. 2 more of those. Several more of those, and one of these. And one of those. So this is currently a bit above our pay grade. So we'll come back to that one eventually. But I would like to make one of these empty PCBs. So creeper seed and iron in the pressure chamber, pressure it to 2 bars, and you'll get that. Seems reasonable enough. I would like to make several. Let's get that guy out of the way. Let's see how many creeper plant seeds we've got. We should have lots. We have 6. How on earth do we only have 6? So, let's do a quick tutorial on how to make more of these seeds. Let's grab our bones. Bone meal them all up. Now, there are a couple of ways for these plants to reproduce. You can just place it down, let it grow to full size, and then it'll do its thing, eventually. Each one of these has a different way of reproducing. So the creeper plants, you'd expect to, well, explode. The rain plant, I think, won't work here because it needs rain. The flying flower flies up in the sky. Slime plants make slimes. Ender plant seeds teleport. The fire flowers, if they land on something that isn't netherrack, catch flame. Potion plant seeds are really cool. They cause random potion effects around them when they try to reproduce. The lightning plant, I also don't think works because it summons lightning. Now this should have exploded already. I don't know why it didn't. But the beauty of these seeds is that they automatically plant themselves. Oh man, and it takes so much more bone meal. It used to only take 2 hits to get them to full size. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, we might actually need to make a regular farm of these guys. Let's go grab our watering can and see if we can speed these guys along a bit. So this has been updated since the last time I played with it. A lot of it is the same. Some of it is clearly a little different. So, as you can see, the watering can does help a bit. It's not super effective, but it's pretty good. So if you plant like 9 by 9, it should speed along all of them, and you'll get quite a few seeds pretty darn quick. After this crop, I'll go and pressure them up, get myself a load of PCBs, because I'm probably going to need a lot of them. I don't know if the wind affecting the particles changes how it actually influences things, or if it just matters where I'm clicking. It's hard to know. So we've got the growth, we've got a state. Now, it might be... Oh, he's active. It might be that they're disabled, it might be that things changed since I used them in Crash Landing. It's hard to know, because Mind Martin does a lot of updates. He keeps this thing growing, keeps making it way better each time. You'll really be looking forward to what you can do with the drones now. They used to be a little bit of a novelty. Now, I'm fairly certain they rival almost any of the automation mods out there. Come on, grow. Don't keep the people waiting. So while we wait for this, I might as well tell you about some of my other plans. Because I do want to keep moving forward with Pneumaticraft, but I do want to keep moving forward with Botania and getting a Galgadorian factory sort of situation set up. I also would love to set up a village. I want to save some of the zombie villagers. Get them separated from the pack, cure them, and set them up in their own digs. But for that, I need to make sure I can secure their home sufficiently. Come on now. You're not going to grow at all? Do you not have enough light? Here, have some more light. So I want to make sure that they've got a safe enough abode that they won't get murdered by the hordes and hordes of zombies that this planet seems to have. Okay, that's plenty. I'm not going to wait for you anymore. So, yes, I don't want them to get murdered, but I do want to have them around, because they are a bit necessary. One of the key components of Galgadorian metal are emeralds, and I still don't have a good hammer. Without a good hammer, you don't have a decent supply of emeralds, but with villagers, you can get emeralds aplenty in a whole host of different ways. If you want to do it semi-automatic, you just set up a farm for making tons of things the villagers want and trade by hand. If you want it to be fully automatic, you need to set up a villager breeder that leads into one of these. Because that's right, you can melt down villagers. At least historically. Yeah. So liquefied emerald. Granted, yes, you can do the legitimate thing and melt down real emeralds. But, at least historically speaking, you could also melt down villagers. Okay, so let's keep 4 of these separate. And we're going to grab 16. Hello, zombie big man. Okay, so we got 16 of those. We're going to grab 16 ingots and make ourselves 16 empty PCBs. I know it's a little overboard to do right at the beginning, but I know well enough that we're going to need them. We're going to need way more than 16, eventually. Maybe not right away, but yeah. There's no doubt in my mind those 16 will go by much faster than I would like. Now, it's possible that the other mods use different PCBs. So I won't need as many as I would have needed in Crash Landing, where everything used the Pneumaticraft PCBs. They might have their own circuit boards, have their own way of doing things. But just in case, we'll toss in these 16 and those 16 and put the window back in, and then toss in another piece of charcoal. We need to heat it up to 2 bars, so I'm thinking it'll take at least 2, maybe 3. And now we can just sit back and enjoy the show. Now this is showing half a bar because the seeds don't take much to turn into plastic. The iron likely takes more to turn into the compressed iron, and then you need a significant amount to turn the compressed iron and green plastic into the empty PCB. So yes, I would like to make a village. I would also like to make a glowstone farm. I do have a plan for that. It's not a witch farm, oddly enough. Though having a witch farm could be nice. Redstone and glowstone are very valuable materials. Hello, blue slime. They are very valuable materials. They could come in very handy. We're almost done the first one. Ooh, we've got some green plastic. Now it's going up to 2. You need the 2 bars for the PCBs, or the compressed iron. The PCBs themselves likely take less. So, you can turn coal into diamonds. Meh. Iron into compressed iron, 2 bars. Same for the blocks, so you can do it faster with less loss. Turbine blade. That's cool. Gold and redstone, 1 bar, no problem. The various types of plastic. I still don't have squid plant seeds. That will be problematic. I'll have to see whether or not you can make those. No, you cannot just create them like you could in Blast Off. So I'm going to have to get squid seeds naturally, which probably comes from killing squid, but I do have a kind of squid farm. The zombie farm with the water does currently spawn squid, and they die. So once that is set up with standardized collection, it should be okay. So 1.5 bars to make the empty PCB. We're going to need 1 more in there, I think. So let's see what else we've got. Lots of plastics. Oh, what? Oh, I'm holding my bow. That was a little scary, things just popping into me like that. Okay, etching acid, which we'll need for making the PCB into something better. All this stuff, not bad. Transistor, need it to make a real, complete PCB. Again, squid plant seeds, don't have any yet. Eye of Galgador. Interesting. Red meteor gem, white pearl, skull minion orbs, and spider eyes. That's an interesting combination. I'll have to look into that one. So we got the various pearls, the red meteor gems, skull minion orbs, and raw hardener, which we saw previously. Wow. So I'm gonna have to... Whoa, we're making our PCBs. Pop, 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 pop. And there we are. We just crack this thing open and pick them all. Oh, right. They don't stack. So we run over here, drop a few off, drop a few extraneous things off. Oh. Apparently that's strong enough to pull them up out towards me. Interesting. Oh, I'm running out of water. That's why I suddenly got so slow. You've probably been yelling at me for quite some time now. Okay, empty PCBs back in the box. Let's keep one of them. Okay, so we're getting back to normal on the waterfront. Let's open up our quest book. We've got our PCB. It'll hand us a couple extras. Okay. Apparently my PCBs aren't sophisticated enough to be used in machines. Time to process it. Try to make the circuit 100% before taking it out to ensure that it will 100% succeed. So we need a UV light box. Is this quick and easy? No. Of course we need piles of emeralds and a compressed iron. Let's see how many we've got laying around. We haven't used a lot of emeralds for anything, so we might have enough. We do! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got a compressed iron. No worries there. bear in mind that this crafting recipe is temporary. Once the mechanics have a place to live, you'll only be able to get it through trading. Abuse it while you can. And these keep doing that. Terrible. Okay, so we also needed redstone lamps and other things that we already have. So we're going to need one of these. We've got the 4 iron. Now we just need those redstone lamps. We have one already that I was going to use for something, and then I didn't. The only question is where? There it is. Okay, so we've got this glowstone here. We've got a little bit of redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2. And then we go 1, 2, and 3. Blueprint, tube, and iron. Now, this UV light box also takes pressure. So we're going to need to hook him up over in this system and close up the box. Or just detach the box and power this thing directly. But I'm not sure how much pressure it can take, and it might build up too fast. So we might actually want to keep it attached to the pressure chamber. So we take one of these, put it in there, drop in another one of those. Probably need another one afterwards, but we've got an abundance of charcoal. Let's put that in there as well. And check our book. So we got the UV light box. Oh, we need etching acid. So that we can save for another episode. This one has been going on for quite a while. It's the first one after I got back, so I figured I'd give you a little something extra. So we'll let this guy cook. We'll eventually make the etching acid to make it into a real PCB. Well, still not real. It'll still need transistors and capacitors, but it'll be on its way. So last I checked, Legend of Grimrock was the clear victor in the competition to see which game I would play. So to facilitate better episodes of this, you'll be getting some episodes of Legend of Grimrock. So that may or may not happen before the next episode of this comes out, but we'll see how that goes. Either way, I will see you in the next episode of Blast Off with Light.